1992. Peter Curry awakes to find himself paralyzed and unable to talk, but fully conscious. He feels a weight pressing down on him, and as his eyes adjust to the darkness, he notices a woman with very strange features straddling his body.
I got the shock of my life because right on top of me was this female, a blonde female. She was just milky white in colour. Her eyes were probably 2-3 times bigger than her human eyes. She had protruding cheekbones and a narrow face that narrowed down to a pointy chin. And on the side of the bed, on the corner of the bed, there was another female, an Asian-looking female. And then the blonde female touches her stomach and points to the sky.
The visitors then disappeared, but not without leaving behind proof that they were there. A single blonde hair. Curry took this piece of evidence to an independent genealogy lab, where biochemist Horace Drew subjected the hair to DNA analysis. The results were not what he expected.
It was very unusual because most people's hair is yellow or brown or black, and this was optically clear like nylon fishing line. There's nobody who has hair on Earth which is optically clear. Normally a human hair only has one cut DNA type. In the shaft above the hair, we got a very rare Chinese lineage, about 0.1%, 1% of ethnic Chinese. And then in the other part, we actually got blue-eyed Celtic light-skinned lineage. This here is authentically unusual DNA, which is fairly rare, which Peter couldn't just have picked up in his bedroom or off the street.
The Peter Curry hair sample yielded very unusual DNA results that just aren't easy to explain in normal, conventional human DNA sequences. Can't really keep dismissing it all as sort of fantasies of the mind, sexual fantasies. And while it didn't absolutely prove that it was alien, because we're only dealing with one hair sample, it can nevertheless prove that we're dealing with something quite unusual.
When we see DNA evidence in the hair of something that doesn't match up with what we would expect to be, old Gaelic DNA mixed with Chinese DNA and blonde hair, the storylines don't add up unless we start to invoke the idea of abduction and genetic interbreeding going back for many thousands of years, all the way to the dawn of history.
Arizona, February 2018. Thousands descend on this small desert community to attend the 27th Annual International UFO Congress. The event offers UFO researchers an opportunity to not only share the latest developments in the field, but also to hear from people who believe they have come into contact with extraterrestrials. Over the course of the 5-day event, attendees describe encounters with alien beings that take a variety of physical forms.
There seem to be 3 categories of organic alien beings that have been interacting with humanity. You have your reptilian types, you have what we describe as the Nordics, and then you have the Greys. These types of descriptions appear over and over again in various mythic and historical traditions.
Do the accounts of modern-day encounters with extraterrestrials support the notion that the reptilians are just one of numerous alien races that have been influencing events on Earth dating back thousands of years? And if so, do they each have their own agenda for humankind?
Clearly, what we are being told here is that in the ancient times, there was a battle for control over Earth and indeed the destiny of humanity.
Ancient astronaut theorists often think that there were several kinds of extraterrestrials who were coming to the planet and fighting wars over which extraterrestrial race would nurture humans and bring them along to the point where they are now.
The idea that there's been warring factions of ETs trying to have control over the human race or the world in general goes way into the past. We have to wonder if they weren't all doing genetic experimentation.
If human DNA was manipulated by extraterrestrials, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest, might this have been done by various alien races?
A number of abductees have claimed that they've been subjected to genetic experiments by reptilian aliens who are looking at them and their DNA for ongoing research of creating, say, a future human.
It seems reasonable to assume that if we, human beings, are now experimenting with animals, doing genetic experiments, that if we have a higher culture to us scientifically, an older culture, they may have been drawing us in as their experimental stock. Could Earth have been actually populated a long time ago as an actual zoo? In other words, could we have other alien beings always coming down to Earth because Earth is their science workshop?
Different angles. These people don't know each other.
We have preliminary results. It appears to have some anomalies that are very interesting.
Suggesting that the father